What is going on, everyone? Welcome to week 11 of Hit the Books, season 4. Just me and Mackie this week. No Ace, no Jesse. Jesse at the Penguin game, Ace dealing with some stuff for work. So just two of us this week to go through week 11. Got a very good slate on the docket this week in the NFL. Obviously, some good college football games. College basketball getting back in the swing of things last night as well. You saw our card start out 2-0 there. So obviously a great start. Especially kind of picking up where we left off of last year, up to 37.5 units. Nice to start the positive 2 there. NBA Cup got underway last night. I didn't watch many of those games, but obviously NBA is starting to get into full swing. I remember last year I did see some of the highlights from that NBA Cup last night. It looked like some of those games, for some reason, they do just have the more intensity than the normal regular season Tuesday night NBA game, but we had some good matchups with the Warriors and Klay Thompson coming back to the Bay Area, but we'll get into all of it, Mackie. Let me know how you're doing this week, and then we'll jump right into it.
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, college basketball's back. We started 2-0. Got a little feel for it in the first week, and now we're just kind of diving in. But we didn't skip a beat there, so that's nice. Other than that, Cowboys suck. Done with the NFL for now. And yeah, NBA Cup's actually been pretty entertaining. I don't know if you saw that Pistons Miami or Heat game last night. Jalen
I was watching
Duran.
all the college basketball games yesterday. That we
Want me to
covered.
tell you about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jalen Duran. They were down 2 with 1.8 seconds left. They threw a lob to Duran. So obviously they tie the game up with 1.1 seconds left. Spoelstra calls a timeout, and they have no timeout, so it gets a technical, and
Oh,
they lost by 1.
yeah, you
So
don't see him make that mistake very often.
yeah, you could see it on his face. He was like, "Fuck, I just fucked up so bad," because he was so mad that they gave up the lobs. He just comes out in the court like all angry and shit, calls timeout, and he's like, "Oh fuck." But it was good entertainment for the NBA.
Yeah. We'll jump right into the NFL. Week 10, we had a couple of great games. Obviously, me and Jesse down in D.C. for the Steelers at Commanders. Steelers come away with a victory. Mike Williams with a hell of a Steeler debut. One catch, but the big 32-yard touchdown to win the game winner. Defense stepped up. T.J. Watt had a tough game, but they were putting him kind of double coverage, a lot of chips. He didn't really do much. Preston Smith had another very good Steelers debut in the first game in the black and gold. Aces, Patriots with a commanding win over the Bears, 19-3. Are they, Mackie? What do you think about them? Are they going to play themselves out of a top pick? Because if
Yeah,
Jacksonville lands below them, Travis Hunter's a Jaguar.
I think they're just kind of screwing themselves here. I mean, it's nice to see Drake May play some good football and get some wins under his belt, but for what at the end of the day? I mean, you're just going to make your team worse next year, lower draft pick. But yeah, Drake May looks good, so that's an upside for the Patriots. Obviously, Ace has been talking about him for a little while, and he's living up to that number 3 pick so far with a pretty shitty roster around him. But yeah, you don't like to see them win those games because.
Remember what I said? I think I said it on the live stream on Sunday. I said, Ace, the perfect scenario each week is Drake May throws 2 touchdowns, 250 yards in a loss.
In a loss, yeah.
In a close loss.
Just let the rest of the team do their shitty job like they always do, and let him put up his numbers, kind of get a feel for the NFL. But
I also didn't know this. Ramondre Stevenson makes $9 million a year. That is more than a lot of good running backs.
Derrick Henry makes 8.
Uh-huh.
Derrick Henry makes 8. There's like 12 running backs that make more money than him.
There's only 5 that make double digits. Did you know that?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Kamara.
Probably
I'm blanking
Aaron
on the other
Jones.
2. We saw that same list.
Yeah. Aaron
You saw
Jones,
that graphic
maybe?
today where it was like Derrick
I
Henry only makes $8 million a year.
I didn't pay attention to top guys, but I did see McCaffrey's like 19 mil a year.
Yeah, and then the next guy is Jonathan Taylor at 14. Then it drops to Kamara at 12. Some guy makes $10 million exact a year, and the next is Ramondre Stevenson. He's paid as like a top 7 running back.
He's not terrible. He's just
no. The team's not good, so you can't. I don't. If that was a piece, I would have maybe moved the deadline if I was them.
Yeah, definitely. Like you don't need him going forward.
And
but
why do you want to pay $9 million?
value.
Just get more cap space.
Get the value too.
And now they have the guy to put the asses in the seats, and it's the quarterback. So like, they don't need a Ramondre Stevenson out there anymore. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what these Patriots do. They definitely look good. Or I think that was a mix of the Bears suck and the Patriots have looked good. Bears now have not scored a touchdown in 3 weeks. Obviously firing Shane Waldron. I think that was the right move, but yeah, Bears look like they're in shambles.
Yeah, Caleb Williams does not look good.
Yeah, and then You said it. Your Cowboys. Not much expectations there with Dak going out for the year. They get pummeled by the Eagles. Cardinals big win over the Jets. Jets season's kind of out of the picture now. And Lions insane comeback win on Monday or on Sunday Night Football. I fell asleep. That game was like I think 23. I don't know. I'd have to do the
26-23.
math. I'd have to do the math. I was like, if they get a touchdown here, they're going to win this game. And I fell asleep right before Dave Montgomery got the touchdown.
23-7.
Yeah, I was like, if
They
they get a
lost.
touchdown here, this is a decent game. Like they got the exact touchdown they needed. I think Montgomery score their first one or second one? Then they literally went right back down the field and scored. I was like, this is why the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah. I mean, the Texans also definitely blew that game, but
Oh yeah,
great
Texans.
comeback.
There's something's up with them. They don't. They're having a sophomore slump as like a whole team. I feel like that whole team is very young, and um, obviously you hate to see a dud in the second half. No points after going up on the lines. That looked like a commanding win at home, and you end up blowing it. But um, yeah, we got some good slates on the game for Week 11. We'll jump right into it. Thursday Night Football. We have an NFC East matchup with the Commanders heading to Philly. This is going to be a good game. Obviously, Commanders coming off a loss against my Steelers, and the Eagles coming off a big road win in Dallas, divisional win. Let's see here. I'll get the line set up here. Eagles -3.5 at home, over under 48.5. Eagles money line -185. Commanders +150.
Yeah, I like the Eagles here, and I don't say that often, but until this Commanders team can beat a team that's actually pretty good or over 500, I'm not gonna be tailing them against these powerhouse teams, and the Eagles definitely are right now the way they're scoring the football. But I'm not gonna say the Commanders. I mean, they're two of their losses. They lost by 1 point to the Steelers, obviously, and they kept it close to the Ravens. I forget who their third loss was, but they're obviously playing like good football. It's just they're not getting the
Bucks week
job done.
one.
Bucks week 1. Yeah, it's also a pretty good football team. It's a rookie quarterback in his first game, so. Um, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles here. I think they're playing really good football. They're definitely in the full swing of things. Saquon looks like the second best running back in the league. Can't take that away from Derrick Henry just yet. Um, and they're scoring football. They're scoring the football. They've scored 30 plus points, I think 3 weeks straight. So I'm gonna take the Eagles here. They're at home as well.
Yeah, in Philly.
Yeah. They're not gonna lose that game at home. Might lose it in Washington, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles here.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like the short week for the Commanders coming off a loss, this is going to be where you see how good Jaden Daniels really is. How can you bounce back from a loss going up against another really good team? And this honestly is a bigger game for the Commanders, being a divisional one in Philly. You want to get a win here. Obviously, you're only a 3.5 point underdog. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Commanders just don't get enough done. I think maybe 27-21 Eagles.
Yeah, it should definitely be a one possession game. You could see a 6, 7 point game though, for
I
sure.
think it's going to flirt with that total too, 27-21. That'd be technically under, but
40,
we'll
47
see.
was that?
We'll see. I
48.
have 48.5 right here.
Yep.
Um, First 1 o'clock game we have is another divisional matchup. Green Bay heading to Chicago. Chicago a 5.5 home underdog, over under 40.5. Bears money line +200. Packers -250. Do you have any faith in these Bears at all
No, I think
anymore?
we both learned the hard way to never bet on
Yeah.
these Bears. It's divisional matchup. They're at home. Could be a sketchy one, but I do like the Packers here. I cannot take this Bears team, especially the way Caleb Williams is playing right now. They haven't scored a touchdown in 3 weeks, like you said earlier, and this Packers team their offense can go. So this could get ugly real quick. But then again, you could see the Bears kind of get back on track here because before this 3 game skid, they were playing pretty good football. Caleb Williams is kind of finding himself. I think he threw 4 touchdowns in that game
Weren't they
before.
4-2 and now they're 4-6?
Who? Yeah, yeah. Or they're 4-3. I'm not sure if they're.
Four
Yeah,
and three.
I think they were 4-2.
I think they were. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sliding heavy, but this could be a good. This could be a get right game, but I'm gonna go with the Packers here.
I don't think anything's going to change in Chicago until they get rid of the coach. I don't think the coordinator really does much to
Yeah,
get
they got
rid
a
of a
lot.
coach
They got a
that's
lot.
also not that good. Like for I hate to use this example, but like the Steelers last year with what's his name, Matt Canada. Like firing the coordinator doesn't just do that much. When you have a good coach, it might work. They don't have a good head coach to rely on. They just got rid of a bad coordinator and they still have a bad head coach, in
Yeah,
my
now you're
opinion.
just more blind.
Yeah, I don't think it really helps much at all in that situation, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But again, this isn't really a fired coach game, just more of a fired coordinator game. I don't know who's calling the plays for the Bears now, but Going to be interesting. I don't really even have a play on this one. I guess I'd lean on the under 40.5. Maybe just hope the Bears continue their struggles. But like you said, that Packers offense can go, so it's definitely scary. I lean on the Packers to win this one. Don't love a spread here, just mainly because it's divisional. Um, but we got our next 1 o'clock game: Jags at Lions, the biggest spread of the week. Lions minus 14, over under 47. Lions money line minus 1,000, Jags plus 650. Any
Hey,
faith in
14?
Jacksonville? Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, this should be ugly at the end of the day. This should definitely be an ugly game. I'm obviously not going to touch a 14-point spread. It's the NFL. Anything could happen. But, I mean, this Lions team is filthy. They find ways to win games left and right. In this one, you're probably not going to see them have to win this game. Jags are probably going to lose it themselves. But no Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, that just depletes anything this Jags team has going. I'm gonna go with the Lions to cover. For the sake of
yeah.
conversation, I think they cover this game, but
I
obviously
think
not.
they do. I think this could be our 31, kind of like similar to those Ravens, that Ravens Broncos game a few weeks ago where the Broncos just got absolutely fucking their ass kicked. But I could see this be 31-10, 41-10.
Both
If the
those
Jags
running
even
backs,
if the
both those
Jags
running
even get
backs,
a touchdown, would you say both
both
running
those
backs?
running backs probably get in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, not much to talk about that game there. I like the Lions as well. Vikings at Titans. Titans are a 6-point underdog. Over under 39.5. Titans at home are plus 200 on the money line. Vikings minus 250. The Vikings have not written the ship yet for me. Even despite a win last week in Jacksonville against a backup quarterback and Mac Jones, I can't bet on this Vikings team right now.
No, they look terrible. 3 games straight. I know they got a win last week, but 2 tough losses.
12-7.
Yeah, 12-7 is gross too. They don't look like they did the first 6 weeks at all. They started 6-0. They're 7-2 obviously now. Definitely going to be a playoff team if you ask me, but I mean, not a scary team at all. I think
No,
it's all catching up to them. Sam Darnold's not playing as good football as he did in the first few weeks. Um, I'm not going to say the Titans are going to come in and beat them because the Titans aren't much better, but this Vikings team can't be bet on right now until they prove something else.
yeah. I agree. My only opinion in these Titans games is obviously the running backs. I do like both of those running backs there. I think Pollard will get in. I don't know if he scored last week. Did the Titans play last week? Who did they play? I'm
They
blanking.
lost 17-10
Yeah, that's right. My typical bet in a 27-17 they lost to the Chargers.
or 27-17. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
Calvin Ridley went off. That's who it was. I'd look for maybe Pollard to get back in. I don't really love a play on this one. I can't bet on the Vikings. Titans aren't a good team, so I'd just save your money and find another game to bet on Sunday. But
There are good
um,
ones.
yeah, there's a bunch of good ones, and this is another one that I don't care for too much here. Raiders at Dolphins. Raiders 7.5-point home or 7.5-point road dog. Over under 44. Dolphins minus 375. Raiders plus 300. The Dolphins figured it out. Are they a sneaky dark seed dark horse for that 7 seed?
I mean, they're sitting at 3-6. I don't really see them turning this entire season around, but they
You got
look
to think
good.
they win this one.
Yeah, you think they win this one instead of 4-6? Definitely still have a few divisional games coming up. They play the Bills still. I know at least once.
That's a
I'm not
good.
sure if it's
The
twice.
divisional games could be a good. They're technically a good thing for them unless it's against the Bills, and they've already played the Bills once.
Yeah, I mean they're second in the division right now, sitting at 3-6. So I
Hmm
mean, you want to play obviously those Jets and
I,
those
I saw
Patriots
someone
right now.
say. I saw someone say on Twitter, the Bills are ahead in the AFC East by a month because they're what 8-2, and the next
Probably
team's
more.
3-6. It's basically 5 weeks, 5 games.
Yeah, 5 weeks. That's
It's crazy.
insane. But I don't trust this Dolphins team yet. They played well against a really weak defense in the Rams. That found a way to win a game on Monday Night Football. But Tua, I mean, he's still going head first in the plays. So I mean, when is this guy going to learn? I don't know. He can go out at any moment of any game, so I wouldn't trust to bet on this team because they're completely different without him. But I mean, the Raiders are pretty brutal as well. I do kind of like the Raiders plus a 7.5 here. That's a nice value on this team going into this spot.
Who do
So
they have back at quarterback now? Is it O'Connell? Or
last
they
I
back to
knew,
Minshew?
last I knew it was O'Connell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume it's him.
I,
Not that
I
it
I
matters
don't.
very much, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it matters very much. It's not the quarterback's gonna win the game for them, but another one I don't really love a play on this. There's some really good games, which also makes for some very bad games this week. So
always.
next We have the Rams coming off a loss, like you said, on Monday Night Football, heading to New England. This is such a weird matchup. I feel like these teams never play each other. Rams at Patriots, a Super Bowl matchup from a couple years ago. I guess that's the last time I feel like they've played. Rams -4.5 on the road, over under 43.5. Patriots +180. Rams -225. I like over 43.5. I think obviously Patriots have been scoring around 17 to 20 points. I think the Rams, that was a weird game. I think obviously Calais Campbell had a huge, or Matt Stafford had a huge problem getting around Calais Campbell's hand multiple times throwing the ball. I don't know. It felt like both quarterbacks just kept throwing it at the defensive line on purpose. It felt like there was more deflections in that game than ever. I don't know
Ever,
how
yeah.
there wasn't more tipped interceptions by linebackers there, but you got to think McVay, Stafford, they figure out the rookie quarterback. That's a good coach, a good team. Rams don't have a great defense. They have a couple really nice pieces. I like Jared Verse. He stepped in very good for them. I'm blanking on the linebacker, Byron something, number 0. He was flying around on Monday Night Football. He looked good for them. Cooper Kupp, Nakua. I just think the Patriots are going to have a problem covering them. I like the over. I think the Rams have a chance for a get-right game here.
I like the over as well. I think it's a good play because the Rams are going to score their points. I think they win this game outright as well. But I mean, Drake May's been playing pretty good football and he's putting up good points. Put up 19 points last week against a really good.
Give me
Uh,
27-20. I think that's would be right around where 28-21, something like that.
yeah, I like the over 43. I think Drake May's going to do enough on his part, and Rams have a pretty brutal defense, but I think the Rams offense will also get theirs as well.
Yeah.
Pretty weird week last week with that. Nakua didn't get going till late. The offense didn't look normal.
I
But I
took
think
those catches. I don't really normally take that. And I was riding home and I was looking at like what I was going to take. I was like, I'm just going to take him or Cup on catches because I feel like every time I don't do it, they end with 8, 9 catches. And I almost did Cup, and I was glad. I don't remember how many he ended with, but I just know Nakua because I did his. He had the one he had 3 targets in the first quarter.
one catch.
Every single one got tipped off Calais Campbell's hand. I was like, I literally was like, this is my luck. I take a receptions bet, and every single pass targeted at that guy is going to get tipped.
Cup
But he
probably
did
would have.
he had 5 at halftime, so they force fed him at the end to go get that field goal.
What was Cup's number at?
I think they were both 6.5, 5.5.
Yeah, they both
I got
hit it.
Nakua at 5.5. Maybe he was
Cup had
6.5.
Cup had 7.
Okay, so he was.
So
They both went over.
yeah,
What
but
did Nakua end with? 7.
9.
Damn.
Yeah, but Kyron Williams 2 straight games didn't get in the end zone. I assume he gets in this week. It's been too long.
Yeah. I saw people saying pick him up in fantasy as like a sleeper because he's doing bad. I'm like, dude, no one in their right mind would trade him in fantasy.
Pick him up like he's on the wire.
Like you can just go get Kyron Williams.
Yeah, top 3 running back in fantasy. But
This next game is arguably the worst of the day. Browns at Saints. Saints 1-point underdog. Pick them on the money line. Over under 44.5. Anything exciting coming out of NOLA this weekend?
dog pound.
You think? Oh, Jameis revenge game.
Dog pound. Yes,
Jameis
sir.
revenge game. I
Jameis
can
gonna
talk myself into this storyline. I like the Browns as well.
Jameis gonna be eating a W. The Saints are terrible. Yeah, give me the Browns in the shit
Saints big
bowl.
win last week against Falcons. You had a 2U on the Falcons. That was a crazy kind of result there. I didn't see that one coming.
Dude, you know what it was? It was the Falcons fucking Young Ho Koo doesn't miss field goals, missed like 3 that game. And it was just like late game interceptions. It was just like every wrong ball went the Saints' way. So like everything that had to happen happened for the Saints. And
That's
they
divisional
ended up.
matchup between those teams.
Dude, it was like a prime divisional matchup. Like that's why you got to be careful with those divisional matchups because that was like a perfect example of like
It's like you said.
what
You
goes
even said you
wrong.
think all the home teams win those games, and then
And
obviously
then
the
the Saints
Falcons.
started
I feel
shitting
like
the
was
bed,
the
so I kind of
yeah
flipped on that. But I
yeah.
mean that was everything that could have went wrong, and that's how they
Mm.
won that football game.
Next matchup, we have Anthony Richardson returning under center for the Colts. They're just flip flopping each week. I think they think that they're going to get like some kind of spark if they keep doing that. But Anthony
Here's your
Richardson
chance
back under
again.
center for the quote unquote foreseeable future. Colts +4 on the road at the Jets. Jets are, like I said, a 4-point home dog over under or home favorite over under 44 even. Jets money line -210. Colts +170. Colts have been good at covering still. What's their ATS? I feel like they've slipped the last couple of weeks. They didn't cover against the Bills. They didn't cover against the
Last
Vikings.
week. Yeah, no, they've lost the last 2. So what were they? 7-3.
Against the spread, now they're
They were
probably
7. No, they're 7. They were 7-1. Now they're 7-3.
Okay. So you're still good against the number. What do you do here? 4 points at MetLife.
I hate Anthony Richardson. With the Jets being 3-7, you'd think they're out, but that AFC playoff race is not very good, I should say. The Broncos are 5-5 sitting in that last spot right now. Their Jets are only 2 games out. Their hopes are definitely not dead in the water. This is a game they have to win, and I think, the Colts are bad, dude. I don't like the Colts at all. Jonathan Taylor hasn't even looked himself. And then you got Anthony Richardson turning the ball over every other play. So I'm gonna go with the Jets here. The 4 points. You cannot take the Jets when they're giving points because they're the Jets. But I think they win this game outright. I think they keep their season alive for one more week.
Yeah, I kind of lean the same way. I hate taking the Jets when they're favorited. I just hate taking the Jets, period. But I do think they win this game. That could be a decent. If you find another leg you like, I was looking at maybe Eagles Jets as a little two teamer, but um, the Colts cover, and that's scary to me. But I'd lean on the Jets minus the 4 points. They should handle business. They need to win this game. Rodgers will get them up for it. Um, yeah, not much else to say about that one. Like you said, I'm not big on Anthony Richardson. I was last year, and obviously we've seen what we've seen from him, and it is nothing good. And I think they're a better team with Flacco under center, but they were pretty quick to pull that trigger and go back to the guy that they're calling their future, their franchise. But I think they're trying to get a higher draft pick, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think they're reevaluating that one right now.
Yeah, yeah. Next game, Ravens at Steelers, AFC North matchup. Steelers a 3-point home dog, over under 48.5. Steelers money line plus 145. Ravens minus 175 at Heinz Field. Which way are you going here?
You know how the Ravens play in Pittsburgh, obviously. I'm gonna go with your boys here. I think the Steelers get this one. I think they keep that. Well, they'll have a game and a half after this one if they win. Keep that division lead, and they're gonna go to Baltimore and probably get chip pumped, but um, they're playing really good football right now. Russell Wilson looks like he's playing some of the best football of his career. It's crazy to say, but he's dropping dimes left and right, and that's exactly what the Steelers need. They need a quarterback that can go out there and make that big play because that defense does more than enough every single possession. So, um, Lamar's probably going to get his, but we've seen it year in and year out. They drop a dud against the Steelers in Hines. So, um, Steelers getting them at what plus 145. You said is
Yeah, dude.
great
Yeah.
value here. I like the Steelers here. I think they're the real deal.
Yeah, I said all the stats last week. Now, as a home dog, Tomlin 26-3, or 77% against the spread as a home underdog in the Mike Tomlin era. The Steelers are, I should say, in the Mike Tomlin era. +3, getting 3 points at home against the Ravens. I'm going to take them to win this game. Like you said, Ravens historically the past 4 years have struggled against the Steelers, home or away. Steelers 7-1 straight up against the Steelers in the last 4 years.
Against the
Especially for the
Ravens.
powerhouse the Ravens have been. Steelers have owned them, and that's including the Kenny Pickett 2 years and the last year of Big Ben. So, or last 2 years of Big Ben, and then 2 years of Kenny Pickett. So sketchy. Obviously, Ravens just don't love to play good against the Steelers. We've seen, remember last year, the Kenny Pickett game-winning drive. I think this is going to be a higher scoring matchup than most Steelers Ravens that we've seen before. Ravens not good against the pass. That's the one thing the Steelers have really succeeded with in the past couple of weeks since bringing Russ in. Najee, he's been having his 100 yards here and there. He had the stretch with the 100-yard games. He had 56 and a touchdown in Washington last week. I look for him to get in. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. Give me the Steelers 28-23.
I'm gonna go with the under here, though. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna say 22-20 because the Steelers love to get weird points like that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm gonna go. I think if the Steelers are gonna win this game, they can't let the Ravens score 25 plus.
yeah, yeah. Next game, let's see. My thing's glitching. First 4 o'clock game, Atlanta at Denver. This is another weird matchup. Falcons 2.5 points on the road. In Denver. Over under 44. Broncos minus 135 on the money line. Falcons plus 110. This is an interesting number. I wouldn't predict this one, would you?
Falcons just haven't looked themselves the last few weeks. Obviously, a pretty shitty loss last week. Who else did they get a shitty loss to? They got blown out by the Seahawks 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still like them here. I like the vet status and Kirk Cousins to go in and beat the rookie quarterback. Tough place to play. Obviously, nobody likes to go and play in elevation like that. And the Broncos defense has looked really good, especially with the way Bo Nix is playing on offense. They're just doing just enough. But
Almost beating the Chiefs last week. A blocked field goal away from beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said earlier, they Broncos play the Chiefs really well the last few years. But I'm gonna go with the vet team here. I think the Falcons need to get back on track. They
Yeah,
had
I would say the same thing. I think this is a weird line. I think you're getting kind of a discount here on the Falcons because the Broncos almost just beat the Chiefs. Um, I think they think the Falcons or the Broncos are kind of riding high. They're that 5-5 team. They're going to keep winning one, losing one, win one, lose one. A tough loss last week. I'm interested to see how they bounce back here, but I think the Falcons just have a lot of options on offense. I know that the Broncos have a very good defense. I think the Falcons will just score too many points. Bo Nix is going to have to keep the ball to the team in the orange jerseys, not the black and red. I mean, he looked better doing that last week. He's kind of cut the turnovers, but this is a good secondary down in Atlanta, and he's going to get put to the test on Sunday. I think this is a pretty good 4 o'clock matchup.
yeah, it's probably the best 4 o'clock. Not the best, but
Yeah, Chiefs Bills.
yeah. But this is definitely
Yeah,
not a
compared to the 4 o'clock slate we had last week with like Panthers, um, Raiders and Cardinals, like this is way better. Broncos, Falcons. Next game is Seahawks, Niners, Chiefs, Bills.
yeah. It's a great 4 o'clock slate this week. Wow.
Red zone's going to be buzzing. I think all these games will have a decent amount of points, but we'll get in this next one. The NFC West matchup. Getting into a lot of the divisional matchups here. Seattle at San Francisco. San Francisco is a 6.5 point home favorite. Over under 48. Niners minus 300. I almost said Chiefs. Seahawks plus 240 on the money line. Which way do you go here? McCaffrey not getting in the end zone last week.
Yeah, I mean that team didn't look as good as I thought they were going to. I said before the game, I said I think just having McCaffrey back will bring everything together. I think the defense. I thought the defense was going to step up a little, which they didn't play bad. But the offense wasn't flying like I thought they were. McCaffrey had a pretty good game. Obviously, didn't find the end zone, which is very rare to see in games that he plays. But this Seahawks team just they're brutal recently. I think they're 1-4 in their last 5. Kind of letting their season slip away. They're 4-5 overall. I'm gonna go with the Niners here at home to get the win. 6.5 sketchy. Like I said, divisional games you gotta be weary of them. But you can see McCaffrey two plus touchdowns this game, and they can get away from them.
Yeah, I was saying I was going to do Eagles Jets. I like Jets Niners even better if you're looking for a money line parlay. I think Niners win this game. I even think they cover the 6.5. Seattle doesn't play well in San Fran. They kind of own that stadium. Um, I look for the 49ers to jump out to a quick lead, and I just don't think the Seahawks will be able to hang with them. Like you said, especially if McCaffrey gets going. I think we obviously all said the thing McCaffrey's going to come in. They're going to look like a totally different team. He's not a quarterback, so I think it is going to take maybe a week or two for it to get back up to speed. Some of the plays they were calling, obviously, I feel like weren't. I didn't watch that game last week, also, but Bucks. I think everyone knows that Baker's capable to keep that team in any game. Obviously, he did it with Cleveland. He's now doing it with a very injured Tampa Bay Bucks team. But I think I think the 49ers right the ship here at home, win this game by 7 or more.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And probably, if not Steelers Ravens, arguably the game of the day. Chiefs at Bills. Mahomes versus Allen. Chiefs are a 2.5 point road dog, going to Buffalo with an over under of 46. Chiefs money line plus 115. Bills minus 135.
Buffalo, really hard place to go into, but when are they going to learn? Mahomes is 11-1-1 straight. 11-1-1.
Like they really just gonna start making it a pick 'em whenever he's gonna be a dog.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like just
He's
make it minus 110 both ways. He's not
You
bad
can't
enough
make
to
this
be.
guy a dog. He's 11-1-1 as a dog straight up.
I'm
Against the spread.
taking the Chiefs here. I'm not even looking into the money. I'm just taking the Chiefs.
It's just really hard to go into Highmark and get a win, especially in games like this. Josh Allen's playing MVP football. They're 5-0 in their last 5. Some pretty
When his
commanding
big
wins as
brother's
well.
coming to town, it might be different.
Yeah, exactly. Big bro's coming to town for the weekend. Um,
Or do the Bills win this one and then have to go to Kansas City in the playoffs, and then we know how that's gonna go.
Kansas City wins both. It's not. This isn't a normal. It's a one-sided rivalry at the end of the day. I mean,
Yeah,
Chiefs own Mahomes owns Allen, and until proven differently, you can't take the opposite. But
yeah.
this is gonna be a really good game, and I think the Chiefs. I think they pull it out, but it's gonna be tough. They find ways every single game.
Over under 46.
Over.
Yeah, I think it'll be an over as well.
You're in the
Yeah,
20s.
Chiefs in the over. I like the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs plus the 115 on the money line. In that one. Sunday Night Football, another very good matchup. Yeah, Bengals heading to LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers a 1.5 point home favorite, over under 47.5. Chargers money line minus 125. Bengals plus 105. Can the Bengals just can they win games, or are they just going to keep losing these tight
By the
kind
skin
of?
of their teeth, yeah. They could probably
Yeah.
be 7-3 right now, but they're sitting at 4-6. This is another team that doesn't like to win these close games. Justin Herbert likes to lose these games, so I'm gonna go Joe Burrow here and the Bengals. I think they get back in the win column. Their season's definitely not dead, especially with that wild card heating up right there. They're only sitting a game out right now. I think they go on a little run here. They definitely should have won last week. Probably wouldn't have went for two if I was what's his name again? Zach Taylor.
Hmm.
Probably wouldn't have went for two. I think they just trust your team in overtime. But, obviously they went for 2, didn't get it, lost by 1 point to the Ravens. Great performance. But, I don't think the Chargers will be able to keep up. I know the Chargers defense is best in the league this year statistically, but, going against Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, there's not many answers for them right now. I'm gonna go with the Bengals, probably by a touchdown.
I'm going to take the Chargers here. I think it's the first game we've disagreed on. I think kind of the reasons you said. I like the better defense here at home. It's Sunday Night Football. I know there's not many Chargers fans out there, but I think the ones that are will be at SoFi, bringing home a big win here. They need if this another team. They're sitting right there, 6-3. There's kind of those two tiers of teams in the AFC right now. Those ones 5, 6, 7 wins, and then obviously you have so many with 4, couple with 3. The Jets still think that there's life there. This is one that both of these teams need. I'm going to take the team with the better defense at home. I'll take the Chargers. Just going to take the money line minus the 125. I don't want to flirt with the 1.5 point spread there.
Another good game, though.
Yeah,
Great slate.
yeah. Monday Night Football, Texans at Cowboys. Cowboys 7.5 point home dog, over under 42. Texans minus 400. Cowboys plus 310. Is this just a get right game for the Cowboys or for the Texans? I mean, I
I was
didn't
gonna
actually
say
read it.
definitely not for the Cowboys. Yeah, Texans should they should definitely take this game, but, Dallas has
In
nothing to
Jerry's
lose
world on
here.
Monday night.
Dallas has nothing to lose here. I think, Texans, they have to get back on track here. If they don't, they got a rough slate ahead of them, and, this has gotta be a get right game for them if they wanna, continue the season on this path. You get Nico Collins back this week. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is out for the entire year, so they're not gonna be getting him back, but Nico Collins is like a top 3 receiver before he got injured in the season, so
Hmm.
that'll be big.
I think he was number one in yards before he got hurt.
He was.
Because that was
Was.
before Chase had the like 2 or 3 huge games.
He was number 1. But, Dallas sucks. They have nothing going for them, so Texans should clear probably by 20 points, but,
A little
um,
in-state rivalry. Does it? No conference, no division. Do you want to beat your cross-state rival? That's the question. Who's
Dallas
also
sucks.
struggling. Texans don't look like world beaters right now either.
Yeah, but
I'd say they're a bad 6-4 team.
they have a top 5 quarterback. Cowboys
Who
have
has it?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah, but Stroud hasn't looked like a top five quarterback. I
I
mean,
wouldn't even say he's playing that bad. I think it's just like the team's not really gelling. There's just way too many mistakes on the offensive side of the football
too
and
many
the
injuries.
defensive, but
You can't keep guys on the field.
you can't blame everything on injuries though.
Yeah, I mean that's everyone has to deal with that. But I feel like for a young quarterback, that
You
affects
have
them more.
you still have Stroud, you still have Joe Mixon, you're gonna have two of your top 3 receivers. I mean, you gotta get the job done.
Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap up our Week 11 slate. Power rankings going into Week 11. We have the Kansas City Chiefs still at number 1, as they are undefeated. Lions at 2 after a huge comeback win in Houston, or against Houston. Buffalo at 3, Baltimore at 4, and my Pittsburgh Steelers sitting there at 5. Obviously, Ravens Steelers playing this weekend, and Chiefs Bills playing this weekend. So 2 top 5 matchups according to our power rankings. I think that's a pretty solid list. It's obviously going to be pretty different going into next week if some of these games look like one pretty one sided. Neither of those, but yeah, we'll jump over to same thing. Our NHL power rankings. NHL has been buzzing along. We've had some NHL plays going out there, not as many as last year. I feel like the NHL has been a lot harder to call this year, but that's just my experience betting it. But um, power rankings in the NHL go as follows: Winnipeg at number 1. They look fucking unreal. There's a couple games that I've watched in the NHL the past couple of weeks. I've caught a lot of their highlights. They look absolutely unbeatable right now. What are they? 14-1,
15.
15-1.
Yeah, they beat the Rangers last night 6-3 in
Who'd they
Madison
lose
Square
to?
Garden. Dude, I couldn't even tell you.
Because weren't they like 4-1?
No, I think they were like 9-0.
Okay, so it's pretty split. The
Yeah,
way
but I mean,
the
usually when you lose that first game, they start to come and they're just hold on,
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm looking it up.
Jets, I'll go through this if you want to look for that. Carolina, number 2, coming up there. They've turned it on over the past couple of weeks. Florida Panthers, obviously defending Stanley Cup champions there. Minnesota Wild and Mackey's New York Rangers at number 5. Yeah, who'd they lose to if you
Yeah, they
found
were 8-0, lost to the Leafs 6-4. Now
it?
they're on a 7-game heater again.
Hmm,
But
interesting.
yeah, these rankings pretty good. Pretty good. I think the Rangers are kind of holding on by a thread right now. They're not playing the best hockey. I know they're 9-4-1, but it just doesn't look like it. You got the
They
Devils
also, I
breathing
feel
down their
like they
necks.
don't have as many games played as some of these other teams that have
That's
really
what
good
it is.
records.
They're only 14 games played. You know, the Devils are up there with 19 games played.
Yeah,
But Caps look good too. Caps are sitting at 10-4. Kings look pretty good. Knights obviously right there, but yeah, is good top 5 in my opinion.
absolutely. All right, let's see. We'll jump over to our real quick. We'll do it. We'll crank out our NBA power rankings and move into the world of college football. Um, for the first time this week, we have a new number 1 at the or number 1 spot in our NBA power rankings. We'll go 5-1 here. We have Golden State at number 5, Phoenix Suns number 4, Oklahoma City Thunder at 3, Boston Celtics at 2, and the Cleveland Cavaliers making their debut at the 1 seed. And like I said, for the first time, the Celtics have been dethroned. Celtics coming off a tough loss last night to them Atlanta Hawks in group play, the Atlanta Cup. I was giving a shit about that on Instagram today. I mean, not really. That game means nothing, but it is still funny. And obviously, in a week where the Cavs just continue to win games, they look very good. Donovan Mitchell looks kind of like a world like that team just looks like they can't lose games right now. I mean, I know they haven't played the toughest schedule, but
They've
they're
gotten
they're
they
just
have
finding ways to win games.
they have excuse me, they have some nice wins though. I mean, it's not like they're playing a cupcake schedule. Listen,
No,
any team that's 12-0, I mean, you got to earn that 12-0.
they're about to play tonight in Philly. I mean, they're 12-point favorite.
Yeah, because no Embiid, he played last night.
Yeah.
No Maxi either.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, good rankings. Obviously, the Celtics are probably still the team to beat, but when a team's 12-0, you gotta put them at
You got
number
to
one,
respect that,
especially when
especially.
the Celtics are dropping games as 17-point favorites.
So who have they lost to? Pacers.
Who are they? The Celtics,
Yeah.
Pacers,
Hawks.
Hawks,
Warriors.
Warriors. Correct.
Warriors. They've lost 2 home games. It's very unlikely. Um. All right. Yeah. Obviously, you already heard me say this, but got our college basketball plays started out last night with UCF -4 and Kentucky +6.5. Starting out 2-0 on the season, plus the 2 units. Coming in from last year, I believe, Mackie, what were we? 129, 88, and
What
4
was it? It
plus
was ridiculous
37.5
numbers.
units.
Just
So
ridiculous numbers.
picking up right where we left off. Make sure you're tailing those college basketball plays going out on our call or on our Instagram story as well as our Twitter. So make sure you turn on those post notifications, get all those going so you don't miss any of those free plays. But we'll jump over into the world of college football. We have a new top 10 to discuss or go through, I should say. We'll go 1 to 10. Oregon 1, Ohio State 2, Texas back up to 3, Penn State back to 4, Indiana 5, BYU 6, Tennessee 7, Notre Dame 8, Miami slides all the way to 9, and Alabama at 10. I guess I'll just do the last two. Ole Miss at 11 after a big win against Georgia, and Georgia at number 12.
Right, but if the playoffs started today, Georgia would be the first team out because Boise would be in with
For the
being
highest 4 power or
yeah
conference winner.
it's the fifth, so the top four get a bye, but that Mountain West whoever wins it gets automatically in.
I saw a situation where the Big 12 could not even make the playoff.
No, there has to be a team to
I
represent
sa-
the Big 12.
I saved it. Let me pull this up.
No, that's
Army,
not
it's like if
possible.
Army beats Notre Dame, you have an undefeated American and you have Boise State with 1 loss. They said there's a way that the Big 12. So I forget. Here, let me play this.
I mean, BYU is also 9-0.
that I don't
Can
think
you hear this?
anyone's thought about,
Yeah.
and this is a very, very unlikely scenario. But there is a scenario where the Big 12 champion doesn't even make the college football playoff. Here it is. Army is 8-0. They have Notre Dame on their schedule. They have Navy on their schedule, and then an American Conference Championship game. If they win every game and they're perfect with a win over Notre Dame on their resume, Army might be a higher ranked American Conference champion than Iowa State. And Boise could be a higher ranked Mountain West champion than Iowa State. Only the 5 highest ranked conference champs are guaranteed a playoff spot. So if you're
Guaranteed.
an
That
Iowa
was the
State
key
fan,
word.
Why are they talking about Iowa State when BYU's 9-0?
Yeah, I don't know why they did keep saying Iowa State and like
Iowa State
Colorado
has 2
now.
losses.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure top 4 seeds are automatically Big 10, Big 12, SEC, ACC. But I mean, I guess what those guys are saying, I'm wrong, but I could be wrong, I guess. But I mean, regardless, I think BYU's gonna have 1 loss at the max.
Yeah, I think BYU at least that one loss could be the Big 12 championship.
The big thing to take out of this: 4 of the top 5 teams from the Big 10: Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana. That's just incredible. You don't see that often. Texas, obviously, being the lone SEC team in there, but I mean, with Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia dropping these games, all have 2 losses, sitting at 10, 11, and 12. I mean, these powerhouses that are usually there just aren't. Even Tennessee's ahead of them,
Mm-hmm.
sitting at the 7th spot. But I don't know, a lot to mix up here. A lot that's gonna happen in the next few weeks. I think I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think Boise's
I mean,
obviously gonna find a way
there's
in.
some big games this weekend. We'll kind of get. We were talking about the Big 12, Utah at Colorado. Colorado 11.5 point favorite. You think there's any chance Utah sneaks past that one?
No, I think Colorado's just getting the job done at this point. They'll find their way into their Big 12 championship game if they can find a way to get a win. They can be a playoff team, but I think that's their only chance of getting into the playoff.
Yeah. A big game in the ACC. Clemson at Pitt. Pitt not ranked anymore. Clemson 10 point favorite on the road.
Yeah, I think Pitt's fake good. I really do. I
I
don't
think
think
that they got exposed to SMU, and then who they lose to last week?
uh
Virginia
yeah, oh, they
at
lost to
home.
Virginia?
Yeah, at home in
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
ooh, that's brutal. I'm big on Clemson. When they get it going, Cade Klubnik's really good. They got blown out week 1 to Georgia, then they had a faulty loss. Who'd they lose to like 2-3 weeks ago? Um, I
Here,
don't know.
I'm
The
looking at it.
offense wasn't going.
I'm looking at it here. I have it pulled up.
2 weeks ago, I think they lost.
Louisville.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad loss as well. But I like this Clemson team. I think they're really good. I'm pretty high on Cade Klubnik. They really know how to score the football, and when they're going, they're going. So I think
Yeah.
they're going into Pittsburgh to speak 10-point underdogs. I think they'll cover.
Another good game. There's not many like true meaningful games. Obviously, number one Oregon has Wisconsin on the road. Not an easy place to play. Wisconsin's only 5-4 though, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue there. The game of the day on Saturday at least. Number 7 Tennessee going to number 12 Georgia. Georgia home 10 point favorite. Which way do you lean on this one?
Georgia's playing for their season, obviously. So I don't know. I do like Georgia. I think they're definitely a playoff team, and you see the first 12 team playoff without Georgia or Alabama in it, and it's gonna raise some eyebrows. But Tennessee's good. Oh, you know what? Tennessee's quarterback's out.
I am Lieva or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
he's not playing. So I'm gonna. What's the spread on this game?
-10.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Give me Georgia to keep their season alive. I don't know how much Tennessee's gonna drop losing this game without their obviously best player and quarterback. But
Do you think they could give him to that 12 spot that Georgia's going to slide up from?
I think that they'll at the end of the day, if Tennessee only has 2 losses, they'll come back and be like, all right, well, whatever his name is, Iamoleva or whatever, was not
Yeah.
playing in this game. It was a huge loss. They'll find their way in. Tennessee's
Mhm.
really good with him.
Yeah. And then obviously we were just talking about BYU. Only reason I'm saying that 2.5 point home favorite, only a 2.5 point home favorite against Kansas. It was 3-6. That's obviously a weird line, but
You just saw Kansas go into, or I don't know if they went into Iowa State, but they just beat Iowa State as well. Kansas is sneaky good. I don't know
they were
why they're
supposed to be
3 and
good before
6.
the season.
Yeah, I don't know why they're 3 and 6. But they play good against good. They play really well against good opponents. BYU finds another way. It was a roughing the passer and a holding in the end zone or whatever that They found their way to beat Utah. They never should have beat Utah. I was actually on Utah, and that one really was a shot to the head. But they keep finding ways to win games. They're kind of like the Chiefs, so they'll probably find a way to win this game. I wouldn't take them on the spread because they won the last game by 1. They'll probably win this one by 1. But I think BYU gets the job done.
Yeah, I agree in that one. I've just kind of continued to take BYU. They've been good to me. Obviously, sitting at 9-0. They've had some sketchy spreads. I think this is another one, but I'm probably going to go ahead and take that.
Just keep beating Vegas.
Yeah. Other than that, like we already said, college basketball continues to go. Make sure you're staying tuned for all of our plays there. Same as with the NFL. We have our NFL live stream on Sunday to go through our top 5 games in the NFL as well as our top 4 games, and then Sunday Night Football. Give out all of our picks on those. And then obviously make sure you're staying tuned on Sunday for all of our official NFL plays going out on our social media. Obviously all sports, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football, NFL, everything going right now. Make sure you get those post notifications on for Twitter, Instagram. Won't miss any of those free plays. Thanks for listening. Make sure you leave a like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you can do. We appreciate it. And other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys Sunday for our Week 11 live stream.